Live from back where it all began in Arnie Stone's kitchen in Delray Beach, Florida. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles live in the middle of the hurricane season down here. And yeah, down here, actually, Rochelle is in the other room cutting my dad's hair right now. So, Florida, back in Arnie's kitchen. Hope everybody's doing well. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles live, sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, the Texas Silver Rush, DTFM Vinyl Distro, Generation Records, 126 Hardcore Clothing, Grunge and Grime Soap Company, and DeWolf Publishing. What is going on? Yes. Yeah, yo, it's good. I'm down here. Thanks for asking, everybody. We're gearing up. He's going in for some hip replacement surgery. Tough guy. And so no, I can't. No, he's not in any condition to come on the show. We're just down here. My gal's cutting his hair, and they're gonna watch a movie while we're doing the show. He's in a lot of pain. It's like bone on bone. It's like he's really, really suffering. So, we're gonna we're gonna get him in, and they're gonna rebuild him, make him better than before. What's up, Donald? How are you, buddy? And yes, you see that, right? This is some of Lori Dawn's work right there, right? And look who's here too. Anybody remember this guy? They all came out of the woodwork for the show today, right? Whoa, wow, they're definitely all coming out of the woodwork. What's up, Keith? Keith Burkhart from Cause for Alarm. Yeah. Come host the show. Yep. Yeah, Vinny, hip pain. Yeah, hip pain's terrible. Yeah, this is his second replacement, and he's in absolute agony. Thanks, Vinny. Yeah, the storm. We're not directly in the storm's path, not directly, but it was banging here last night. We pulled the, what do you call them? The he has on the terrace. The storm shutters, the big, like, you have to pull them across and bolt them together, and so. Thank you, everybody. My dad thinks all the world of you guys. He does. My dad's a big New York hardcore fan and lover, man. He really, believes in New York hardcore and everything, Hey, Lincoln, nice to see you, buddy. I hope you're well. Thank you. Yeah, storm shutters. That's what they're called. Yeah, you gotta so there you go. Meanwhile, in Queens, New York, in the supply shed, you know what? Before we go there, look at this thing. It's like the size of my head. Lemons down here. I've never seen a lemon this big. Up in New York, we get like the crap. They send like the crap up to New York. Like, the rejects. Fucking size of this lemon. It's like a fucking orange. What the fuck you do with these things? I'm curious about the limes now. Do they make limes this big? Fucking lemon, bro. What the fuck? Down here, everything's like all the fruits and vegetables, like up. They're like all the crap, like garbage. They're like, send it to New York. Let those friggin' bums eat it. Speaking of Queens, New York, what's up?
Hello.
Is that a tool?
This is my tool. I have to go open up. I have to change a drum of chemicals, of cleaning chemicals.
What's that? That opens the cap of the drum?
Yeah, you put this on the top of the thing and you twist it. Also, it's also good for putting 4 lumps in someone's head at once.
Boing, 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 boing.
They instant bowling ball skull.
Did you put all those stickers up there?
Oh, you see those?
Yeah. Yeah. The boss didn't get pissed off?
They can't see from this angle.
Right. Got it. Got it. What's up, Fred Dela Cruz? What's up, Rich Zola? What's up, Larry Kelly? What's up, Chucky? What's up, Vinny? What's up, Chris Andrews? Chris Andrews. Just be. Is it time for? Are you? Is the doctor in?
Assume the position.
Bend over. Wow. What's up, Polly Gibson? Oh, wow. They're coming out of the woodwork today. All the A7 cats are coming out today.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right. Cool. All right. Let's do photo of the day.
Let's do it.
Listen, I feel like I'm living on borrowed time here with this show today because I feel like at any minute, like the power is going to go down and the show's going to be over.
You're going to be like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. The whole house is going to go.
Seriously, bro. So let me see. Now, I apologize a little bit beforehand here. Down here, I'm not home in the command center. So the setup's a little different here. So the way I present the photos is a little bit different down here. But we will get her done. We'll get
Guerrilla
her done.
style.
Yeah, here we go. Photo of the day. Is that the one I want? No, I don't want that one. No, see, I told you it was gonna be. I told you it was gonna be a struggle. Hold on.
That's all right. That's all right.
Where is what? Let me see. Didn't we fix that? All right, fuck it. Photo of the day. Photo of the day. All right, fuck it. We'll go. We'll just wing it. Ladies and gentlemen,
photo of the day.
All right, what have we here? Let's see. Make me laugh. Can somebody make me laugh, please?
Hurricane humor.
Yeah, some hurricane humor. Yeah. Is it Kat Von D? Is it question mark, question mark, question mark? Is it what's up, Steven?
Hey there.
No, it's not Kat Von D. Here's another. Here's a clue though.
Yep. We know who that is.
Yeah. Is it Cher? Is it Cher? Is it Moby drumming? Kind of funny. Is it Fabulous Moolah? Funny.
Hey, Ray Hogan.
Is it Brando and the Wildcats? Is it Tell Steven to get that big noggin off the screen and show the stickers? Is it Norman Reedus? All I know is one of the members of the Take is on drums. I beg to differ.
Uh-oh.
Is it Lita Ford? By the way, I just started watching that Joan Jett documentary.
How is it?
I was surprised to see like Ian MacKay in there and like all kinds of people. I'm like, fucking Ian's in a Joan Jett doc and I can't get him on the show? Like, what the fuck? Is it Vince Neil? Is it Scalpel?
Scalpel. Haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah. Scalpel. There is a band called Scalpel. All right, here's another clue. Anybody? Is it Joe Perry? Let the music.
I like how I like how he's bald in his reflection. By the way,
that's incredible. Yeah, that's cool. Right? Is it Life Agony? Is it Gamora? Is it Gamora the turtle?
Oh, Gamera, you're thinking of.
Gamera. Is it Johnny Depp? Is it Ace Frehley? Johnny Depp. Is it James Hetfield? No, James Hetfield's busy taking pictures with Michael Alago right now.
That's right. That's right.
I don't think anyone on planet Earth has more pictures with James Hetfield than Michael Alago. Yeah.
I think he has more Doyle shots though.
Yeah, right. That's right.
That's
Yep.
his man right there.
Is it Dave Navarro? All right, who is it?
Well, that gentleman right there, we know, of course, that's our friend Ronnie Wheeler, sound man for the A7. And this is his band Bowhead. And this was actually January of 2020, the very first Rampage Fest, shortly before the world went sideways. And
Here's
which
the.
feat?
Hold
What's
on.
that?
I don't mean to interrupt you, but
That's all right.
why not? Here, I got the photo that I was.
Oh, you found the one you wanted.
I found it. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, like I said, Here you go. Boom. There you go.
Oh, there we go.
That's what I was looking for.
Nice.
All right. There you go.
I missed that view right there. That is our beloved A7, as you can see by the plaque right there.
One thing I love about these A7 shows is we used to make a concerted effort to pull the drapes back. So there would be like this surreal scenario where the A7's packed with people like slam dancing, and it's 300 degrees in there, and there's like this window to the outside world where like people are like waiting at the red light, and like people are like,
it's like we're on both sides of the fishbowl,
Seriously, bro.
And that's of course Lena on vocals, who is amazing. She also sings in a band called Cartel, which are really, really good, really aggressive. They're in that what do they call that illegal scene now, with all of the bands like the Non-Residents and
what's it called? The illegal scene?
They call themselves the illegal scene because they're all illegals,
Yeah.
And
they're all here illegally.
Yeah, exactly. But they're great. They're a lot of fun. And this, like I said, this was the very first Rampage Fest that we did.
I guess that's why they call themselves the Non-Residents, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you try telling their drummer to leave.
Well, that's Jerry playing drums. Jerry was in Kraut for many years.
Ah, right.
Yeah, Jerry played drums in Kraut, and of course Ronnie Wheeler did sound when we did all our A7 revival shows. And you know what?
Yep.
I just want to say this. There's some talk about getting back into the A7.
Bring it.
I know. I want to get back. I want to get back in that room. That's the magic room right there, man. That's the magic. Is. That's the magic room right there.
It really is. It just.
I mean, Bowery Electric is cool, but that's the magic room, and we're going to talk about that on the show today.
Oh, I can imagine. I mean,
yeah.
In fact, it's funny. Did you read the Henry Rollins Get in the Van book?
Yeah, when it came out like 300 years ago.
Right. Well, do you know that the A7 is where he took the mic and jumped up with Black Flag that made them want to give him a shot?
What do you think? I just fell off the back of a turnip truck, bro?
I'm just saying.
You know what? That thing with Henry Rollins. Do you know the song that he did?
Was it Clocked In?
Yeah, it was Clocked In.
I believe it was Clocked In. Yes.
And I wasn't there. I'm not like Sid the Kid, who's like, I was there. Like, I wasn't there. But Jamie from SSD Control was there, and he's told me the story a couple of times. But yeah, Henry did Clocked In, and yeah, A7. So I saw. But we're going to talk A7. We're going to talk A7.
The thing in the book that bothers me is he calls it 7A.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's a cool moment, and I would, as a Henry fan, I wish I could have been there, but I was not.
I've said it before on the show. I'll say it again. When Henry joined Black Flag, they were fierce. It was nothing like it. They were the best, man. They were the best for that like couple month period when
with
Henry
the 5-piece you're talking about.
It was off the hook.
Oh yeah, I mean,
it was great, man.
Amazing. Amazing.
Hey, you know what? How about the next 4 shows while you're here?
Let's talk about the next 4 shows.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about
I got
sex,
4 shows for
baby.
you right
Let's talk
here.
about you and me. All right, so who did that? Was that Salt and Pepper? Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's
I
talk
think it
about
was
you
Salt and
and
Pepper,
me.
actually.
All right. Let's talk about the next 4 shows. Boom. Coming up this Sunday, and I will be down here at Arnie's. Troy Gregory will be on. The Witches, Killing Joke, Prong, The Dirt Bombs, Crime in the City, Flotsam and Jetsam. Is that a week from today? No, 2 weeks from today. Adam Sewell, my old friend, actually. Funny, we had Paris on the last show. Was that the last show? Yeah. I didn't even talk about this. We'll talk about it after, but Adam Sewell, was in Monster Voodoo Machine. Me and Paris did a video for him. He managed a lot of bands, including Motorhead. This guy is very knowledgeable, interesting character.
Nice.
Wednesday, October 19th, Robbie Steve Davidson, who played with Billy Bio and for many years The Exploited. He's got a new film out called Dick Dynamite, 1944. We'll talk some film. And then, of course, Sunday, October 23rd, Chris and Eddie from Powerhouse will be on the show.
Nice.
So there you go. But you know what?
Hey,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, don't forget, happy birthday to Paris. Today's his birthday.
Happy birthday, Paris Mayhew. That's right. Happy birthday, Paris Mayhew. Yep. For those that watched the show, I guess, was the Paris show the last show I did? No.
No,
I did
2
Steve
shows
Whale.
ago, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Paris show just shut down. It's like the only way it's on Vimeo, but YouTube shut it down. It is the first show that we've ever done where they actually just shut it down.
And amazing, you actually made all those things that you're not allowed to show.
Bummer, man.
Hey, I got something cool.
There's no justice. It's just us. What's that?
I got a cool thing. I don't know if you saw the announcement today. A little bit of Long Island news for you. December the 9th at the Stereo Garden in Patchogue.
I saw that.
Life of Agony, Madball, Sworn Enemy, Kings Never Die. And it's Mina's birthday. Boom. That's a big one. Everyone's coming out to the 631. Bring your lemons. We'll make lemonade.
All right.
So, and if I may, one last thing. Throw that flyer up, would you?
Okay.
We have this Saturday and Sunday, our third week of the Worldwide Hardcore Firing Squad. Rich Zoller, Tim Daly, and myself. Photo exhibition at the C Squat in the corner of 10th Street and Avenue C.
There it is.
Honored to be up there with Tim and Rich. Awesome photos, a history of all of our friends and the music we love and everything. And it's free. Come on down 2 days. And they've been not kind enough to keep us there for a while. So it's pretty cool, I got to say.
Good. Yeah, I highly recommend it. I know a lot of people came over after the show in the park.
That was awesome. That was a great day at the park. It really was. Despite some tense moments at the beginning, the bands all delivered the goods.
I took a beating.
So
all right, let's get it on. I'll talk to you in a bit. See ya. Well, there you have it. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, and we are sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, the Texas Silver Rush, DTFM Vinyl Distro, Generation Records, Grunge and Grind Soap Company, DeWolf Publishing, and 126 Hardcore Clothing. It's a streetwear brand for restless individuals who don't compromise like yourself, my friend. They are about being positive, spontaneous, and true to yourself. For years, they experimented with several printing methods and materials and collaborated with a large number of designers and illustrators, always giving room for fresh perspectives while retaining the hardcore attitude. You know who's blowing my phone up? I don't know if this is public. I should ask him if it's public. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. I'm doing my show right now. Can I mention it on air? Question mark. Let me see if this is out there. If not, you don't hear shit. While retaining the hardcore attitude, get in touch with them. Ramp up your game at www.126hardcoreclothing.com. Come on now, DeWolf Publishing is a completely independent publishing house formed by authors Amy Yates Wolfing and Stephen D. Lodovico in Philadelphia in the year of our God, 2014. To date, they've released 5 books with widely ranging topics, including graffiti culture, American ska and reggae, punk, zine culture, and the soon-to-be published memoir of Adrenaline OD. Their mission is to preserve and curate subculture and its history. Get your face out of that phone and into a book at www.thewolf.com. Let's bring our guest on. Let's just make sure everybody okay. What's up, JJ? What's up, Rat Bones? Good to see you in the park. Hurricane Ian has made landfill. Yeah. Yep. Hey, all everybody down here in Florida with us, we wish you the best. Batten down the hatches. Here we go. Let's clear the deck. Let's bring our guest on the shizo. Today's guest is a hard rock, hardcore metal vocalist hailing from Queens, New York via the Ukraine. Through the years, she's known for her work with the bands Shiny Mama and the trailblazing all-female bands Wench and PMS. Please welcome, coming at us from upstate New York, our old friend, A7 family represent, Yana Chupenko. Hey.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good.
Let's get comfortable.
Yeah. Did the hurricane hit up there yet?
No, it's sunny. It's beautiful upstate. Well, in my part.
Yeah.
Upstate anyway.
You just got to grapple with the winter up there.
We have a generator.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
I've been to your place.
No, you haven't. You're always invited back.
Well, thank you. Hey, what up, Alan Robert from Life of Agony? Yo, we see you're doing a big show in Long Island. Is that the day before you play in the Bowery Electric? Anyway, what do we? Wow, let me get my notes. Boy, we have a lot to talk about today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hold on. You know, and I just feel like I'm excited. I'm living on like borrowed time here. Like every second's a blessing. Before the power goes out at my dad's.
I feel you, because that's what it's like here when we have snowstorms or rainstorms. The power just goes out. Trees fall on wires, but you are in a little bit more of a trouble. Hopefully it'll pass where you are and it won't be that.
I think we're all right. I think me and Rochelle are going to go to the beach, to the ocean tonight. Like, because in storms like this, a lot of times, like a lot of cool stuff gets washed up, and there's a lot
metal
of
detecting is fantastic after a storm. Maybe you will find some Spanish galleon gold. You never know.
Right. Billy Whitfield says, hello, Yana, from the old school Baltimore crew.
Hello, Billy.
Yeah. All right.
We played Baltimore, PMS.
Yeah. Did you grow up in a, let's get right to it.
Yeah.
Did you grow up in a musical household? How did music
not
come into your life?
Not the point is that nobody played instruments. My mother tried to make me take piano lessons, but I would run away and scream, and I hated that. But my dad instilled the love of opera in me from a young age, and I remember we had those, what do you call those, 2-turn cassettes back in the day?
Reel to reel.
Yeah, reel to reel. And
like
Tom Jones, and we had the Beatles, sure. And I kind of listened to that, and that was my introduction to Western sort of music. But I was a kid. I mean, my God, we left when I was 9.
Sure.
But I did like opera, and I did take as a kid some voice lessons and ballet lessons too. I actually wanted to be in the arts since early age, but when we got here, we didn't have a pot to piss in.
You came over. You were 10 years old when you came over.
1976. I'm 56.
Right.
Now I'm an old lady.
I'm older than you, so slow your roll, woman.
Well, you look fabulous, darling.
You know why?
What?
It's my Ukrainian genes, is what it is.
You're Ukrainian Jew.
Yeah.
Mazel tov, darling. Mazel tov.
There you go. So wasn't your dad a famous? Wasn't he a soccer
Soccer
coach?
coach, yeah. He was involved with Kiev Dynamo when he was young, and later on he coached with Kajewski, Dnipropetrovsk.
Wow.
And then his father spent 33 years in the Stalin Gulag.
Oh,
So, and he wasn't a party member. He was there from 1933 to 66. And when I was born, he actually saw me, and then he passed away because his body no longer functioned.
oof.
So that's what happens when you're in a concentration camp, basically. So we had it good, so to speak, when my dad was working. We had perks, even though he wasn't a party member. We would shop at certain Western warehouses. It was called the Baza. We did okay, but then it started. They started sort of clipping his wings, and I remember there was in '76. Was it Montreal Olympics or
Yeah. I think Montreal.
or there was another World Cup.
72.
Something was happening,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't allow him to leave USSR. And at that point, he's like, you know what? I'm feeling the pressure. And since his wife was a Jew, he said, we have an opportunity to get the fuck out because they're letting Jews go to Israel. And back then, you get on a train. You go to Vienna, you spend a month there in a hotel, and
Wow.
Hayas actually sponsors all of that, and Yana also, Jewish organizations. And on the train, they ask you, do you want to go to Israel or do you want to go to, and at that point, the Soviet refugees, they had a choice between United States, Australia, and New Zealand. So actually, I could have been in Australia and New Zealand, because you after that, if they separated you, the excuse me, those people that wanted to go to the West and those people that wanted to go to the Middle East, Israel,
Sure.
basically. So we spent almost a year in Italy, in Rome, and then we lived in Ostia, which is a suburb of Rome, and we waited for a country to accept us. And United States did, and then New York City did, and
Queens, baby.
Queens, New York, darling.
you know,
So, and that's I was 10 years old. We came here in February of '76, and immediately we got a green card. And I waited, and I became a U.S. citizen in 1994, and I'm very proud of that. And I love this country, and
this country loves you.
hopefully it stays a country and a beacon of freedom all over
Let's
the
hope.
world. But
Let's
go
hope
ahead.
so. And Queens, New York, and New York. I mean Queens. In New York, any of the five boroughs. 1976 was an exciting place. It's an exciting time.
Well, we had the blackout, number one.
Yeah, but
I remember that.
Yeah,
I lived in Regal Park, actually, and
Yeah.
Forest Hills, right on the border, 63rd Drive.
But it was an exciting time. New York was just so vibrant and so I could still smell it. It was just disgusting, and music was everywhere. And but I don't want to glamorize it, but
no, it wasn't glamorous. It wasn't fun to go out and have your face bashed in by some psycho.
Yeah,
So
it's like what it is like now, basically.
I was just going to say, the thing is that right now New York is a shithole minus the great music. Okay. And hopefully that will change.
Whoa. Listen, some of us are still living in New York City.
You know what? God, I totally support what you're doing. I think it's great. Somebody is doing it, and it has to happen. And, out of tough times, great art is formed.
That's
so let's just hope the same thing. And it is alive. It's not in a shitter. The Black and Blue Productions put on shows. I mean, it's still alive. To me, it's kind of like hardcore, and it is mainstream practically in certain area, because there's this crossover with metal, and heavy bands and festivals. Thousands of people come out still. Yeah, so
people are getting back out again. Yes. So you learned the language pretty quick, and you went to junior. So didn't you, if I remember correctly, because we've we've chopped it up, you and I, before, and you were
Mhm.
gracious enough to be in the New York Hardcore Chronicles film. Did you go to elementary school with the Reagan Youth guys and the
No, it
Urban
was high school, Forest Hills High School.
Forest Hills High School?
Yes, rock and roll high school I went
You
to.
went to
Rock and roll high school.
So what how did this punk hardcore thing come into your orbit?
Well, I'll tell you exactly how it came. Well, before in like 78, whatever, I was a kid, but I gravitated towards music. And of course, I would listen to Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin and the older rock bands. But then, all of a sudden, and I would used to read Cream magazine. Do people remember Cream magazine? How awesome it was. And I remember Blondie, and that blew my mind. She was stunning. She was so talented. I loved the music. And then the Sex Pistols, and that blew my mind too. So I started getting into, that sort of. I missed the whole, CBGB's television, Blondie, Patti Smith, whatever. I came in 91 to the Lower East Side. So there was still a bit of a crossover, but I
Right.
missed all of that. But I still knew about it, and I was a fan. But in high school, I also lived on 63rd Drive in the Anita buildings. And Stephen Poss lived across the street from me.
Well,
Andy
it's funny.
Apathy.
Just as you said that, a story you said. Do you remember the club, the Subway
Yes,
at
I
the
never went
60
there, but yes,
at
there
the
was a Subway. It
63rd
was more
Drive train
gothy
station?
at that point, but I no
Yeah.
longer lived on, because I think it was in the 90s, early 90s, and I no longer lived.
Yeah.
Basically, in 86, I moved to Jackson Heights.
So back to Steve.
Legal
So
Park.
Steve Poss, high school.
Steve Poss lived across the street from me.
Oh, he lived across the street.
Yeah, Andy Apathy lived
Andy.
right next to me. So my first punk rock friend was Andy Apathy, because I loved the Ramones. And here's a dude that looked like the Ramones, and he was so awesome and friendly, cute, and I just loved him. So I became friends with him. And then I went to Forest Hills High School. He was no longer in high school, I don't believe, or I don't know where he went. I think he was a bit older, So when I went to Forest Hills High School, Paul Cripple and or Bashka, I think that's how you pronounce it, from Reagan Youth, and Dave were there. And Dave was like A plus 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 student, and he was completely punk rock. And I was just like, oh my God, these guys are amazing. So I actually followed, I was already hanging out sort of like on St. Mark's, because everybody starts hanging out in Washington Square Park, and slowly and surely, bit by bit, block by block, they make it to Avenue A. So at 81, I was still sort of like trash and vaudeville area, sounds, record store, rat cage. You would go there, and I remember, and there was another store, and I forget the name of it. Please,
Free Being. Free Being.
What?
Free Being Records.
Maybe it's Free Being. It was on First Avenue, where the Pomfret store is now, right next to Gem Spot. Right there, there was another record store.
Free
Being
Being Records.
That's it. Thank you.
Free Being Records.
So but mostly I went.
As you speak, I will dig out the photo. Go ahead.
Yeah, good. So basically, I remember going to Rap Cage, because that's where you would get the newest tapes, the newest English releases of things. And I remember I wanted the specials, like some sort of special release color vinyl or something like that. So, and then when I started hanging out at Rap Cage, basically, I see all these kids, and then I see some, and I was like, wow, they're cool. And
I'm sorry, here you go, right here. There's Gem Spa on the right, on the corner, then Hunan Taste, and then right next to that, Free Being Records.
That's it.
Yeah, and then of course the only vestige of the past that still remains there to this day is on the left. There's B&H. B&H Dairy is still there.
It's still there, isn't it?
It's
okay.
still there.
I haven't been in the city and roamed like at least in 2 years.
But Free Being a network there. Free Being was great. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But Rat Cage, that was the
spot
place to be, because that's where all the kids conjugated before A7, really.
Yeah.
Then I saw some guy wearing a Subhumans jacket, and I was like, oh my God, what a great name for a band. And I followed him to Avenue A, and that's how I found A7 and started hanging out there. But there was another one where Bad Brains practice. It was like you have to go down
171A.
Yeah, that's it, 171A. And I was always to. I was a wallflower. I was alone. So I would always hang out outside and kind of get that whiff of ganja overpowering coming from there, and I would be too afraid to go in there. But A7, I was not afraid, and Dave was
Here's
at the door. And
here's an interesting one. You
yeah,
mentioned the Subhumans.
yes,
You mentioned 171A.
yes,
Here's a show at
yes,
171A. Bad Brains, the Subhumans at 171A. This is
yes,
dated May 30th,
yeah.
1981.
Well, there you go. That's around the time where, I didn't see that show, but I was probably hanging out outside, too scared to go in.
Right.
That's
At
how
what point?
retarded it is. But I totally know that flyer. Absolutely.
At what point did you sort of go over the top and like go into the A7 and stuff like that?
I just went in. I just saw all these punk rockers hanging out outside, and I said, "What the fuck? I'm going in," because I did go to the old Peppermint Lounge to see shows.
Sure.
I went to the Ritz to see shows. CB's sometimes, but A7. It was after, I think, actually after I saw Reagan Youth, one of the first shows at CB's, because they were in my high school, and I thought they were the coolest, and I loved Reagan Youth, so I started following them in terms of as a band, and that's how I started hanging out at A7, and then the last night of Max's Kansas City, because I never went there, but the last night before it closed, I went there because it was I think it was Bad Brains and Stimulator show. It was the last night. So I went to see that. And then I went to A7. And then I met Billy from Urban Waste, the singer. And I was standing by the wall, and he started talking to me. And at that point, my English was not even that great. But, I communicated, and we talked. And he was my so-called first kind of boyfriend, not that we even did anything, I was 15. Yeah. So yeah.
I
did until I was almost 20 or 20. I kept it. I didn't hoe around.
Wait, did you smoke cigarettes with him?
I don't know if I smoked cigarettes back then.
Because that would constitute him being your boyfriend back then. If you smoked cigarettes with him.
No, but I started hanging out with him, and then I met Polly and Bernadette through
Polly's
in
the
place
chat
where
room.
they were jamming and practicing on Avenue B. And that's when I met Johnny, and John, the drummer, and and I started following them because I thought they were great. And then Billy and I broke up, with stayed friends, and then I got into Major Conflict, and my God, Token Entry, all of those Queens bands, whatever. But basically, we were all from on the so-called early scene. We were all from such different backgrounds, and the only thing we had in common, basically, was the music, and we were like a herd of animals, followed every show. That's how you would meet people, and that's how the scene formed and grew larger. It was always around the music and band. But let me just tell you another thing. Nobody talks about this band, and I love them so fucking much. Crucial Truth.
Oh yeah.
What an amazing band that was. I
Alex
went to
Mitchell.
all of their shows, and then of course, Alex. Got into
Circus of Power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Zowie was a very good friend of mine too, because one of the PMS guitar players who came from Florida, Liz Brockland, was his girlfriend. So Zowie was a very, very close friend, and but a lot of people were close friends, and then ultimately you lose touch or whatever, and shit happens. Life happens. And I don't know where he is now, but we were so close for so many years.
Yeah, Zowie's sort of taken himself out of circulation.
Guess what? I remember a lot of people, or I know a lot of people who don't want anything to do with any of it anymore.
Yeah.
They just like my Liz Zowie. Hi, Jojo. I love you, my baby girl. Jojo.
John Angeli says, please tell Yana I said hello. John Angeli says hello.
John, I read it. Hi, John.
He loves you.
I'm in touch with John all the time through Facebook.
Okay, good.
So
yeah.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit. It segues into this. Well,
I'm
maybe
sorry,
I'll.
I have allergies. My eyes are watering
All
and
right.
my nose is dripping. I took a Zyrtec. That fucking
A
thing
Zyrtec.
was
I want to. You know. Well, let me ask you this first.
yeah,
Girls
yeah,
in the scene
yeah,
early on,
yeah.
and we've had this discussion before.
Mhm.
What kind of like paint us the picture? What was there? Was there girls? Was it what was sort of the environment like in that early New York hardcore scene?
Pretty equal, girls and boys. We were all in it together,
Yeah,
basically. You know, you would go to shows, there was no separation, and maybe in the beginning there wasn't so much moshing as there was pogoing and whatever. So nobody got hurt. Everybody was having a great time, and we all looked out for one another. And I mean, when I started hanging out, I had great women to look up to, like Kitty Hawk,
yeah,
you know, Killer Instinct, no Donna, no thanks, Meryl from Killer Instinct, and RB Corbett.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. Interesting, Kitty Hawk. As I am down here in Delray Beach, Florida,
doesn't she live in Florida now?
she lives in the next building over.
Oh my God, I love that girl. I
Yeah,
really do. I don't even know why she was out of PMS,
yeah,
but she was the original member, and I loved her dearly. And she's a great girl, great
you
girl.
know, I
And one of
think
the girls I looked up to. Oh, you know, you also see, you know, you also had Stimulators. You had
sure.
Mercedes on guitar, and so there was plenty of women in the scene doing it
Yeah,
and being part of it. So why would I feel weird? And plus, the punk rock scene, even before the hardcore scene, you had Polystyrene, you had Susie Sue, you had this Blondie, you had this one, that. I mean, there were women all over the fucking place.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so why should I have felt weird? You
Well,
know,
well, I
it's
think
about just do it.
we
Even if there is a two guys and a dog, you're still going to do it because you're doing it and having a great time. And if someone likes you, great. We're all having a good time.
we've talked about this before, but it was back then. Women, everybody found a place. If you pick up a camera, you took pictures. You started a fanzine. You promoted shows. There was a much more even playing field. It
I
was
always
really,
say it was the great equalizer
yeah,
because
that's
we
right.
were from all
Yeah,
over the place. There were kids from
yeah,
millionaire families.
that's
There were
right.
kids
That's
from
right.
famous actors' families. They were kids from street kids.
Yeah,
You know, they were uh, you know, all, you know,
yeah,
sorts of backgrounds. But it was
yeah.
the hardcore scene was the great equalizer. We were all in it together, and the music tied it all together.
Absolutely. Here's a photo. I don't know if you've ever seen this. It was
And Jojo is right. It was organic.
yeah,
It was completely organic because there was no rule book of what you should wear. You kind of went as you went along. You know, you see,
yeah.
you know, the Beastie Girls were the fashionistas
Mhm.
back then, and you would look at them and you're like, you know, I like the way, you know, this boho homeless chic. You know, I love the look.
Yeah,
So yeah, you know, it was all about, and a lot of people, you know, went on to become clothing designers,
that's right.
makeup artists. It was a creative sort of
It was
circle.
it was it was an inspiring youth movement.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it was up to you to take the good out of it and use it for yourself and not having it, to me anyway. I've seen the destruction,
Mhm.
what it could do to you. And then I saw the opportunity to make yourself the best that you can be. And I chose the latter. Yeah.
Right on. I want to show you this picture. I'm not sure if
Sure.
you've seen it before. It's got a couple of our friends in there, but
Oh
this is
my
a, this,
God. Of
this is
course
a
it's good
shot.
for
This is
you.
because you mentioned Dave,
Yes.
Dave Insurgent, the singer for
Paolo. I
Reagan
see
Youth.
Paolo. I see Alex Kynan, I think.
Well,
I
well,
see
well. There
Juanita.
you are, right? You see
There I
yourself,
am in the white shirt, like Antoinette on top,
right?
Patty Merklin by RAR Amp, and I'm right underneath there with
Right.
biting my lip with a white shirt and a vest. Yeah,
So the other photo, the next photo on the roll
yeah.
is, and by the way, these shots are taken by the great Randall
Randall
Underwood.
Underwood. Oh my God. I
Here's
got that book. I got that book. It is art. It is pure fucking art. It is amazing. Amazing. Amazing.
here's the next one, and there's you know, and
Yeah,
there was just
there's Patty on the right, Juanita. She's in the military right now, and she kind of doesn't want anything to do with anybody. But I love that girl. She was
there's
one.
Fee.
Those were my
Fee.
girls. Fee. She unfortunately committed suicide a couple of years ago. As you know, we did a thing at Niagara for her.
Yep.
Remember a couple of years ago?
Yeah, yeah.
And
You
then
I
there's
performed
Crazy
together.
Beverly behind me, and I'm in the vest and the white shirt.
Who's that?
Oh, and Jessica sitting all the way. Irish girlfriend Jessica sitting.
Who's that
right
down
there.
on the left?
Yes. And I think that's Jack Rabbit, no?
Looks that way.
Yeah, it looks it.
But yeah, this was sort of like the cross section of, you know, you had all kinds of different people.
Yes.
It was a real melting pot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good stuff. So how did PMS come together? Who were your inspirations?
You want the story of PMS coming together?
Please.
Well, Gina at that point was going out with Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, does anybody know what happened to Johnny? Is he still around?
Which Johnny?
John. He used to drive everybody. He used to have
Johnny
a band.
Stiff?
Yeah.
Oh, he's still around. He's still driving.
God bless him. That guy in the 90s moved me like 10 fucking times.
No, he still has a van. You could still rent him with his van.
That's all. That's good. Well, anyway, one of the first people I met on the scene was Johnny Stiff, and he was going out with a girl at that time called Jenny Orlow. She was a young girl. She also had on Facebook. I posted, I found her first zine that she made, and we were talking about people making their own zines when they were young, this, that. Sure. So anyway, they were one of the first people I met on the scene. A couple of years later, and everybody hung out at the Park Inn. That was our favorite watering hole. Yeah. My God, I love that place.
Right.
That shithole was amazing. You know, it was home away from home. Anyway, and I also knew Gigo, the Schifino brothers, Richie and Gigo, and Allison was going out with Gigo at that point, Allison Gamble, and Gina was going out with Johnny. So of course I knew the girls, and we were all hanging out at Park Inn, and it was Gina and Allie. I think we were all sitting drinking, and Gina told me, "Hey, we're getting a band together. I'm going to have my sister and this girl Elizabeth come from Florida, and we're going to start a band." And they're like, would you like to be in the band? And I was like, fuck yeah. Because I always sang. I mean, my God, we always used to like sit on stoops drinking our beer, and I would sing my throat out, you know, just sing, holler. So I guess maybe they heard me sing, and they said, okay, she sounds a little bit like polystyrene. Good enough for us, you know. And we waited for everybody to arrive from Florida, and we started jamming, and you know, that's basically it. Then we found Meryl and Kitty, because they were in Killer Instinct. But the thing is that Kitty entered the picture after Allison left. But then after Kitty left, Allison came back. My God.
Did you set out like, we got to be an all-girls band?
No.
Is that just the way it just shook out?
No. In the beginning, we were friends, and we just decided, I guess we were more comfortable being around people we knew, liked, and it seemed like a good idea, because we were like, okay, we're going to make some music, but basically we're just girlfriends hanging out and having a great fucking time. Instead of putting makeup on and clothing, we're just going to rock out, you know. And we didn't know they didn't know how to play their instruments. Everything was an infantile stage. But it worked out. We learned.
I'm not sure. I got so many PMS pictures. I'm not sure which is the. Well,
I'll explain to you.
See, I do know this.
It's very confusing. PMS, Wench, Shiny Mama, all the members sort of come in and out depending on the time period. Oh, okay. That was one of our first big shows.
And this was at the Rock Hotel. Like, playing the Rock Hotel then was literally like playing Madison Square Garden.
Absolutely. I was just going to say that. For us, for me, I almost fucking had a cardiac arrest. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? We're going to open up for Chronicles, who was one of my favorite bands, and I worshipped Bad Brains. I mean, let me die now. This is it. It's over. If I played the show, I've done it. My career is done. Thank you very much. I've reached the pinnacle, you know, in my mind it was, you know, because I really looked up and loved these bands. So it was an amazing show. It was summer of 85, I believe. And we played, and I was scared to death, but we just got on stage and plowed through it, you know.
This was when the Bad Brains came back. This was like this is 1985. They stopped playing in 82. This is like when they came. These shows were fucking great. I saw both these shows.
Absolutely. I was just happy there to see them. Forget about me playing. But I also love the Chronicles, you know. Love. But anyway, at that show, I guess hardcore was becoming hip at that point because Andy Warhol was there.
Right. You got to tell us the Andy Warhol story.
Yeah, Andy Warhol was there, and he sent one of his lackeys, this woman, older woman, and she approached me and she said, well, I just want to tell you that Andy sent me to say hi to you, and he enjoyed your show very, very much. And she goes, can I have your number? Andy might be interested in having you in one of his films. And I was like, sure, why not? And I think I went to see the woman. She had a huge loft on Broadway somewhere downtown. And she was telling me about this film that they were going to do. And some guy from DOA was supposed to be in it. Nothing materialized, but yeah, that was a crazy experience. So Andy Warhol liked PMS. Woo!
There you go. Good. Now, yeah, those were great shows. Now I'm trying to. Oh, here's a great flyer. This is a great. Here's a great flyer. This was in my flyer archive that I have. But this was a great flyer. Look at this one.
Oh my God! I drew that flyer.
There you go.
I did it in my art class in school.
How cool is that?
Wait a minute. Where the hell is it? What does it say?
CBGB's Thursday. The date is May 23rd, 1985.
What's underneath, like on the bottom?
With the Edgin, be there or be, and then you drew a square.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, that picture, you know, I used to love Nina Hagin, so that was my interpretation of Nina Hagin. my early, and actually that PMS was on my denim jacket and my leather jacket, and then in the early 90s after I came back from tour, the first Wench tour, I threw everything out. I had a collection of flyers from 81 to fucking 1991. And like a fucking retard, I
threw them out.
All out. It could have been, my collection could have been in a fucking gallery. And like a moron, I threw everything out. So yeah, stupid things we do.
Scott Kajewski says, Yana, you were one of my favorite 10 questions episodes.
Oh, thank you, Scott. That's sweet.
That's cool. All right, so how about a PMS photo? I'm going to go with this one, which I happen to like a lot. This is probably my favorite photo.
Okay.
It reminds me of the rehearsal room that we had. We had like the dude version of this.
That's Jamaica Music Building in Queens. We had a room and we used to practice and we had a couch in there. And that's probably 1990. And we're practicing to go on tour in England.
I see. I think that's the Crumbsuckers back there.
Oh, absolutely.
The Crumbsuckers poster. And correct me if I'm wrong. On the right there, could that be David Coverdale?
No. That's Megadeth, I believe.
Okay. All
no,
right.
We did not have David Coverdale.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the musicianship of, let's say, John Sykes and Moody's. And actually, I was not into hair metal at all. Mm-hmm. Even though I appreciate some things like, you know, but I'd rather listen to the Monkees.
Run DMC. There you go.
Run DMC I loved. Oh my God. I even loved Grandmaster Flash. You know, in the early 80s, kind of like hip hop in its beginnings, I used to go to the Roxy and see the hip hop shows
Right.
also at that point. And I saw Grandmaster Flash at Danceteria, and my God, what a fucking amazing show.
And just to clarify,
Yes.
PMS stood for pre-metal syndrome.
Yes, we were laughing about it. We were sitting in the room with Carmen in Brooklyn. She lived, and all of us girls were in there, and we were like, "Well, what are we gonna?" We're not metal, so we're, I don't know, foreshadowing. We were pre-metal syndrome, and PMS was hysterical because we never took ourselves too seriously. There was always humor in there, like Wench. What do you think? We're gonna come out there like Manowar with fucking horns and whatever. It was funny, we always had a tongue-in-cheek mentality about a lot, but we took ourselves seriously and our music seriously.
I know the lines blur between both bands, but PMS.
That's PMS, and we were on tour in Florida in
Ooh, the
1986.
big Florida tour.
Yes, the big Florida, Jacksonville and Orlando.
Wow.
And that was Amy Ninja on bass. We constantly had to switch bass players. And actually, Liz Brocklin, rest her soul, Carmen on drums, me, Amy Ninja on bass, and Gina on guitar. Yes. The funny part, story about the Florida tour was that we went to Disneyland because one of the people who put us up and booked the tour for us, they got us in for free. And we had a van that we were driving, and the van basically had the exhaust coming into the van. So when we're in Disneyland, all I hear is, "Hey, Yana!" And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm in Florida. Who the fuck do I know in Florida? I turn around, it's Andy Apathy. And we gave him, I don't know why he was there. Maybe his mother was there or parents. I don't know. He was visiting. But we gave him a ride in our stinky fucking van which was all rusted out. And it was like a Fred Flintstone mobile. You see the road underneath and the exhaust coming in. So we gave him a lift back to the city. And also, we're banned for life from Disney World.
Oh, you have to tell we have to that story, or is this PMS at CBGB? Obviously.
Yeah, that's PMS at CB's when Kitty Hawk was in the band.
So let me get this straight. If I remember the Disneyland story, you guys went to Disneyland and you were tripping on acid.
Yes.
And the guitar
mushrooms or acid, I forget.
And the guitar player stole some life-size.
No, it was Carmen, the drummer, and she went and into one of those stores on Main Street, and there was Puff the Magic fucking Dragon, and she literally walked out with him. Like, she put her arm around him and she walked out with him, and we all got kind of busted, and she got arrested.
Like, she got straight arrested? Like,
they took her in, but they let her go. But I don't know if they found a baggie in her shoe or not. But whatever, we're okay. We got out of there okay, but I know they banned us for life.
You got naughty. You got into it quick,
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I mean, my God, it's an experience, and I'm glad I had it.
And by the way, you just got those. Let me put it back up. The first you get those pants. Those pants got some love.
Oh, those pants!
Are those the cheetah? Are those the cheetah? Are those the cheetah?
Zebra, darling, zebra. Darling, they were zebra.
You went to
punk rock. They were like 78 punk rock vibe. Thank you very much.
Yes, Disney jail. Lori Dawn says Disney on acid always makes an awesome story. Yeah. There you go.
We were so poor. We were so hungry. We got one baked potato from one of the, selling on the street. And we, like, fucking 5 people or 4 people shared a baked potato. It was fabulous. Good times.
One more here, and I'm gonna take a sponsor break. PMS?
That was Wench.
Okay,
that's Wench.
We're wenching here.
We're Wench. Okay, so Laura Miranda on the right, Liz Brocklin, who was the original PMS member, who died. Allie Gamble, original PMS member, bass. Lorraine Herrera, we found her. She was playing with some band in Long Island. She was 18 years old. I was a little older. I was 23 or so. And She was the fucking ripper. She just ripped. She was a heavy metal guitar player.
Nice.
And she blew our minds. And Laura Miranda was a double bass. We also stole her from another band from Staten Island. We went to see her and we were like, oh my God, this woman plays double bass. Hello, Laura. You know, you're going to be playing with us. And she loved it. Yeah. So that
Cool.
was right before we went on tour with Wench to
Right
England.
on. Let me take a sponsor break for a couple minutes, and we'll come back and we'll bring on our friends Lori, Dawn, and Gina. And
Okay, very good.
We'll do some Women of the Pitch stuff, and we will
Fabulous, darling.
we will continue.
Fabulous.
See you in a couple.
All right, bye.
Okay. Well, there you have it. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Somebody asked about Jim. We're like, where's Jim? He's on the wall. That's where he is, right there. Remember this guy? What's up? Yeah. Jim says, what's up, everybody? It's been a long time. You guys never do the show from down here anymore. So there you go. Jim's back. The whole gang's back in town here, back here in Florida. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. And here is a quick word from our sponsors.
Since 1992, Generation Records has been a mainstay of the New York metropolitan area music scene. Today, they offer a diverse selection of new and used rock, jazz, indie, hip-hop, punk, hardcore, metal, blues, soundtrack, and reggae LPs, as well as t-shirts, posters, and other merchandise. They buy used record collections and music memorabilia and will pay you top dollar for them. House calls made for large collections in the tri-state area. Call or email generationrecords@gmail.com and follow them on Facebook and Instagram.
Hey guys, Vlad from Organic Grill. As you can see, we're in a new location on West 3rd Street, right by Blue Note and Comedy Central. The place is bigger, kitchen is bigger, we have more varieties, more food. We are looking forward to treat you guys with great dishes. All Hardcore Chronicles, welcome to Organic Grill. We are going to serve all the events as we usually do, and we are happy to see you guys.
There you go. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. What do I need to mention? A couple of things. A couple of Bowery Electric shows coming up. Starting with The Take, No Redeeming Social Value, ID, Live Fast, Die Fast, Slashers. These are the Back to the New York Hardcore Roots series. It's free. It's all ages. Sunday, October 16th. Come on down. Bring the wife and kids. Sunday, November 13th is Rampage Fest 4. Here we go. Looking forward to it. Co-produced by Heggs, Concrete Burial, Pembroke, Down Low, Neck Scars, Fire is Murder, The Last Stand, and Death Cycle. And then the big banger with Women of the Pit and GBT. Sworn Enemy, Spoiler NYC, featuring Alan Robert from Life of Agony, Daija, Voice of Doom, Concrete Ties, Serial Poets with Stephen Messina, and Faded Line. All coming up at the Bowery Electric. It's free. It's all ages. Get your tushy down there. Get your touche down there. For those that are wondering, and I know there's a lot of you out there, how can I support this show? I love this show. There it is. It's a Patreon page. Please support the show. There's also a super chat feature. If you want to show some support or make a one-time donation on PayPal, please support this show. This show supports you. Don't let me unleash my army of Florida lemons on you. What else? Yeah, you need to get your ass to New York. Yep. Who's that dude hanging in the back? It's me. Lori Dawn made this. This was a gift. And this is from Lori Dawn. This is me. Do good things and good things will come to you. this right. Yeah. How's that? What else? I think we're good. Couple other things. The Adrenaline OD book signing and live performance is coming up November 4th. ID is playing as well. We're looking forward to that. We're going out west pretty soon. If you're out on the West Coast, you're up in the Northwest. Fang, ID, and the Scoffs and FCon are playing Lucky Liquor in Seattle on Saturday, October 8th. The next night, we are playing Crash Fest down in Portland, Oregon. Looking forward to seeing all kinds of people down here. We're playing with The Take, with Scott Roberts and Will Shepler and Doug and the Slugs. So we're stoked on that. And then Saturday, October 15th, just a reminder, this is the day before the Bowery Electric show with The Take and ID and No Redeeming. Don Foos is coming to town. There's an event at Organic Grill. He's doing a book signing, his new book, Motivate Me. And then the next day, he's going to be getting on stage with us and doing a couple of songs. And actually, interestingly enough, 2 guys in The Take were in the Spud Monsters. So I have a belief that they'll be doing some Spud Monsters songs. Yeah, we'll get. I'm talking to Sammy Town. We'll get Fang back to New York. We'll get that. We'll get that happening. Fear not. We'll get that happening. That said, let's clear the deck. I think I covered this and covered that. I'm just excited that the power hasn't gone down yet. So here we go. It is that time. Once again, let's bring our guest back on, and Yana, and let's bring on from Women of the Pit, Lori Dawn and Gina. Hi.
Hello. Hey. Hello. Hello.
I'm like the only guy in the room.
Takeover.
Yep, you're outnumbered.
Champion.
It's the big takeover. Do you, Gina? Gina, do you have any? You ever crossed paths with Yana before?
So I have, but she doesn't know it because I was too shy as a kid to say anything. But so when I was, a kid going to CB's, I remember walking up and seeing her and her boyfriend at the time, Tony Scaglione. Tony was friends with my friends from Jersey, and he was a drummer. He played in a band called Whiplash. And I just remember seeing like them together and thinking like, she is the coolest person I've ever seen in real life. Yes. And so I was, like 15, 16. And like you say, like, so I'm just a few years younger than you, Yana, but those few years made a big difference because there weren't a lot of women when I was going to shows. And I'm pretty sure, I was trying to think as you were talking, I'm pretty sure of all of the years going to CB's, I missed the whole A7 thing back then, but I think yours was the only, I think you were the only woman, like your band was the only one I ever saw on stage. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I don't know. I can't think of any other
I don't know. There were, I mean.
Like the Sunday matinees I'm talking, there were.
Matinees?
Yeah. I can't think of
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the bands that I remember, which might be a little earlier on. I remember.
Well, there was Scab
with Minot, right? And
but I
Blood
think they broke up pretty
So
soon.
I was a little younger than that.
Yeah.
I'm talking like 84, 85, 86.
I think Scab already broke up.
Yeah, they were gone
by that time. Yeah. So I think for a period of time, I think maybe we were the only all-girl band playing those shows. But, the funny thing is, I always say, in punk rock and hardcore, 2 years, it's like 100 in dog years back then, because what the scene was in 81 and what the scene was in even 85 or 86, it just exploded.
Yeah.
It was actually apples and oranges, and then the crossover started happening at around late 85, 86.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get into today's artist, I want to just throw this up there because this is really interesting. An interesting bill here. This is a Rock Hotel bill with Wendy O and the Plasmatics.
Chris Williamson was so nice to us. He gave us great shows. And
This is like an all girls. This is an all girls bill.
Yes. So he was a bit ahead of his time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wendy O, Mean Streak, Wench, Cycle Sluts, and Misdemeanor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
At the when the Rock Hotel was doing shows at the Ritz, the first location, which down on 11th Street.
They moved to the Ritz. Yeah.
That's a hell of a.
Well, that's because it became like legitimate all of a sudden, and so many more kids were coming to shows. So it's like graduating from A7 CBGBs to Rock Hotel to the Ritz. Playing the Ritz, it's like what, 2,000 people. That was considered a big stage.
Oh
yeah, that was huge back then.
Yeah,
that was huge.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And with Wendy O was like the shit.
Oh, absolutely. She was huge at that point also. And it was great. And actually Mean Streak, we had a little crossover with Mean Streak because Yael, their drummer, we wanted her in Wench before we got Laura. And then she wanted me to be in Harry Carey with her before she was even in Mean Streak.
Wow, I remember them.
I practiced with Charisse and them because Eric Carr from Kiss was going out with Charisse and he was going to manage and produce Harry Carey. I did one show with them, but they weren't my people. They weren't my girls, even though I love Yael to death and we stayed close for many years. I'm not in touch with her anymore. Mm-hmm. And I think Mean Streak is doing a tour now. But they reunited after 20 years, more than 20 years not being together. But two girls from Mean Streak are married to one of those progressive metal guys. Those famous. What's that band's name?
Dream
Theater. Dream Theater. That's the one. I don't know anything about Dream Theater.
Those progressive metal guys.
Whatever.
From Long Island.
I don't know one song.
Portnoy and I forget the other one.
Yeah. But I mean, they're amazing musicians, but I don't follow the band. I don't know one. I can't name even one song. But the bass player, the guitar player, both of those girls are married to two of the guys in Dream Theater. So they're on tour together, keeping it in the family. I think it's wonderful. I think people appreciate what they're doing now. If they're reunited after 20 years, it's much sweeter than it was back then because you understand more. You've been through a lot, and I'm sure they're much better musicians at this point. But anyway, that was my connection to Mean Streak, and that's pretty much.
Let's take a look. Let's take a little clip. Look at this little clip of today's band.
This energy is amazing. Let's keep it up. Keep it the fuck up.
Girls kind of freak me out when they sing like that.
She's a trained opera singer.
Really?
She can sing. And
tell us about.
See, I'd rather hear her sing opera. Honestly, let me tell you something. I'm going to preempt this shit immediately. I think she's awesome. I'm glad she's doing it, and she's just as good as any motherfucking guy out there. Me personally, I'm sick of those kind of vocals. I want to hear her sing, and she could, if she could actually mix it up a little bit more. And I'm not into that. I've heard it so much, all this like just pure noise, and people love this. I don't, not my bag. Sorry.
It's all right.
It's okay. I do.
No, and it's perfectly fine. I'll support her anyway because she's awesome. Just from the fact that she's on that fucking stage playing with those guys, not giving a fuck, and busting fucking heavy and aggressive and doing her shit. So kudos to her.
Yeah. Well, she didn't start off being the singer. She started out being a bass player.
Okay.
And
what's the name of the band?
The name of the band is Year of the Knife.
Okay.
Year of the Knife.
Tell us
They're
about 'em.
fairly new. They've been around since 2016.
Okay.
And I don't know, maybe like people in the comments, people are watching will know, but the original singer just doesn't sing for them anymore. And they've never put out an official statement. They've never changed like the picture on all of their social media. Like he's still there. And she just started singing for them this past summer. And she's been owning the stage. I saw them play at the Monarch on September 11th. They came through Brooklyn, and this girl slays.
Did they have a dude singer before?
Yeah, this guy Tyler, and everybody loved Tyler. Like no one said anything, either which way about him. There's a lot
I'm
of
sure she's
like
much
there's
better
a
than
Tyler.
Tyler.
What's that?
I'm sure she's much better than Tyler.
I mean Tyler was okay too, but there's whole Reddit threads on the internet about like what could have happened to Tyler. Like he's still alive, but I don't know, but they're not saying anything.
Boy, that Reddit, man.
Yeah, that Reddit.
Yeah.
About a year ago when she was a bassist, and I mean, when she was the bassist of the band, and she was a very, very accomplished, bassist and very fun to watch. She also did background vocals as well.
Yes.
So, and I like the musicianship of this band a lot. They have a lot of death metal and metal influences, and I like the guitars in it as well.
Well, musicianship is fantastic, no doubt.
Yeah, the band's called Year of the Knife, if you're wondering out there.
Crossover allows for that extra layer of complexity that really resonates with me. So I really like this band, the music.
Well, you like that heavy stuff,
I do like that heavy stuff, I came into this all when, with the band Wench, and that just blew me away, and I just recently listened to that album, and it still shreds.
Thank you. You have to understand, all we were doing, we were experimenting. Yeah. It's all experimental. We were doing whatever we wanted to do. There was no playbook, no rules. We wanted to be, female Metallica. We wanted to be taken seriously, but we never took ourselves too seriously. Yeah. And we were just having fun, It wasn't about becoming a rock star. It was about just like creating something yourself, something new, possibly something a little bit different than standard metal. But to tell you the truth, my favorite singer, male singer, is Ronnie James Dio. I go for fucking vocalist. That's what I love. And female singer, I grew up worshiping Nina Hagin.
Yeah.
Well, that's that bar, like.
Well, that's what I tried to sing, kind of like mesh the Nina Hagin aspect.
Hold on a second.
Of the vocal abilities with the Dio.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, good morning, y'all. It's Maribeth.
What brings you here?
Well, I'm a patron, and I just woke up. I worked tonight, and I was like, oh, cool. I can sign on and see some chick rockers. That works.
Well, not only can you see them, but you're on the show now.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Hey, what's going on?
Where are you from, Maribeth?
I'm in Palacios, Texas, but I grew up in Austin, and I happen to be sporting my Dix t-shirt today.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyway, they're my
awesome.
homies. That's who I grew up with as a punk rock princess.
Well, that's when you think of Texas, early Texas, like hardcore, it's like the Dix and the Big Boys and stuff like that. So
I saw the Big Boys when they played New York.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fun.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for being a patron and supporting the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice to see y'all. I've got my mic out just so that I'm not while I'm making coffee and stuff. You don't have to hear me clanking about.
I was just curious who was this popping up in the backstage. So
I never can make it, so I thought, oh, look at this! It's time. I can do it.
Well, thank you so much, dear. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes.
Thanks for coming on.
So, but Year of the Knife, I feel like has a lot of different elements, as Wench had a lot of different elements as well, and that's why I find their music so interesting.
Well, I also like their message too. So they're a straight edge hardcore band, but they're not militant about it. They all found each other because they met at shows like a lot of us do, but they all suffered loss, family and friends to addiction. And for me, that resonates a lot with me, with family, with friends.
Oh, yeah.
My husband, my daughter's in recovery. And I had my own issues back then too. So But they try to use the music to create community, and they do it through compassion and change, even
Fantastic.
even with
Liz
the
from
screening.
PMS and Wench, she OD'd. She died. She
Yeah.
was stunning. She was so talented, and what a waste of life. Lost. Because
Don't even get me started
Yeah.
Yep.
with the shit that I've dealt with, man.
Mhm.
One thing that I when I think of Wench, that I really is the artwork and all these great
See, with Whiplash, there it
all
is.
these great
Yeah, there you
flyers, you know.
That's
that-
Allison Gamble. She
Yeah.
was an amazing artist. And she worked with Sean a lot on the PMS record cover. That was Allison with Sean Taggart.
What year was that show? I might have been at that show.
Which one?
Yeah, here's a couple of them actually. Hold on.
That's CB's one.
The CB's one is this one here. Hold on. Let me put
A
it
lot of
back
times
up.
those old flyers, they didn't put the year on them.
February 21st, 1988. That's what this is.
Yeah, I was probably there.
Yep. Wench, Whiplash.
Yeah, Whiplash.
Whiplash with the three Tonys and right?
Yeah, Tony.
And yeah, you guys had great. Allie did great flyers. Right, here's another one of my. This one's popping up in the book I'm working on. March 9th, 1990 at Zone D, the infamous Zone DK.
Zone DK.
Tell us. I know you gave me a little something to the book, but
you want to hear something really fucking funny?
Tell us what Zone DK was.
Zone DK was an S&M club, basically. So you walk in, you have all these metalheads, going to see, and then they decided to do. It was on the West Side. It was like in the 21st Street or something, I believe. And they decided, I forgot who was booking, but they decided to do, 21st Street. That's it. It says on the flyer, duh. Anyway, they decided to do metal shows. And so all these metalheads, they had no idea what they were walking into. They would walk in and there was a guy on a rack having his nipples pierced. And they would be like, what the fuck? So, and then you would go in and I would go straight to the bar because they had this amazing drink called Red Death. And I think it was like Long Island iced tea.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh my God. It was just incredible. But it was fun gig. Pretty.
Here's one I just dug it out. It just, from the archive. This is in that era, Antidote, playing Zone DK.
Yes.
With School of Violence.
Oh my God, Stag. I love him. We go way back too. I love that guy.
And Broomhelda, which is Laz, who's in what am I saying? El Nino. So we played Zone DK. Like here's another one. Let me see anything good. Here's another one. Yeah, these are the kind of bands that would play.
Remember, there was another club called Marquee also.
Yeah, of course. It was across the street.
And they were kind of similar, only one of them was not an S&M club.
How about Splat? Remember the band Splat? Loved them. They were like a 3-piece like biker band.
No, I don't. I'm just, my
love
God,
them.
it's been so many years. I don't remember everything. I forget a lot of things, names, and I don't know.
No, but your memory is good. I'm thinking like you're naming like this girl and that girl and this club and that.
Well, that's because I grew up with them. It's more personal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But some of the other bands that I wasn't really close to or really followed, I might know the name, but I really don't know anything about.
Big props to Wench playing L'Amour with Carnivore.
Oh, I loved Carnivore. Pete was a friend.
Yeah.
Carnivore, we played a couple of shows with them actually. And Pete was wonderful. He's a very good friend. And I remember going to see Tom Jones in like 96 or 95 at the Ritz. And he came up to me and he's like, Yana, because we haven't seen each other for a couple of years. And I was like, holy fuck, Pete, how are you? And he was with his type of negative, I guess. And I'm talking to him and he's talking to me and I'm just looking at his mouth and he's got fangs. And I'm like, is that real? Did he put something in or whatever? But he was a great guy and very sad that he
Yep.
He left us way too soon.
Our friend
But he was an amazing guy.
Paris Mayhew from Agros and Cro-Mag says, I'm on the set today, but I had to pop in and say hi to Yana and say Wench rocks.
Oh,
So, and
I knew
happy
Paris.
birthday. Happy
I
birthday.
wish
Oh,
you
Paris.
happy birthday, Paris.
I love Paris. And back in the day, I knew Paris as Kevin, but I always knew that he was Paris Mitchell Mayhew. And we were really, really good friends for a long time. I looked up to him. I fucking thought he was the shit. He was the bee's knees. He was so talented. I really looked up to him, and we hung out for a long time. It was a group of us, Sean Taggart, him, and we hung out at the Village Idiot in New York City. And then we had a fight, and we didn't speak for 20 years. And then we made up, and I support him 100%.
Good.
I don't care what he fucking does. He's amazing.
He's a very talented guy.
Yes, he is.
Absolutely one of the most talented people I have ever worked with.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And a fucking trailblazer as well.
Yeah, incredible.
Chronicles, my God, who haven't they influenced? I remember Metallica and Megadeth going to CBGB's just to check them out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. Oh wait, and you know what? Here's the tie-in, right? Wait, I have the tie-in here, right here. You on stage rocking the Cro-Mag shirt.
Oh my God. Absolutely. When didn't I wear a Cro-Mag? I was a huge fan. I love them to death.
And
and I have to say that Petey Hines was also friends with me and Tony at that time, and he was playing in the Cro-Mags.
Yeah.
And Tony was in Whiplash, and then Tony played with Slayer for a little bit. And actually, Tony filled in a couple of times for Cro-Mags as well. Then Sheer Terror, he played with. Tony had. He played with a lot of hardcore bands and went on tour. He was actually in Raging Slab as well on that first album. And he had a big fight, and they kicked him out. I was supposed to sing background vocals on that album, but they canceled.
No, I gotta say, I love that first Raging Slab record.
Well, actually,
I love it.
The very, very first on Bio Records, they were our label mates with PMS. But the first, I think they were on Epic, the first major label.
That's
release.
the one I'm referring to.
Yeah. I actually liked Assmaster first. It was on Bio Records, and I had a tape, and I loved production. And where do you think Shiny Mama came from? It was a Raging Slab song, and that's how I named. And Shiny Mama means a vibrator. Greg told me. So
That'll work.
I
like
love
Steely Dan.
They had a fight, Tony and Greg and whatever, and I think they gave him credit on he plays all of those songs on the album, but they put somebody else in the picture on the cover or whatever. You know how music business goes. Yep. You fall out with somebody and they erase you like Stalin.
There you go. You get Stalinized. So this photo here, I have. This is.
That's CB.
This is September 27th, 1989. And this is actually the flyer. This is the flyer for it, which is another great Allie Gamble flyer.
Oh, yes.
It's this, Wench and Warzone at CBGB's. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Warzone were great. Ray was a friend also. And let's just say, it's sad to have two of the members being gone.
Yeah, Ray passed young. Here's another. This is another one from that show. Here's that Cro-Mag shirt again.
I look like my head's fucking falling off my head.
Yeah, right.
My shoulders, I should say.
There you go.
It's a great picture, though.
Yeah, it's a good picture.
I don't know. I just look fucking freaky. It really looks like I'm ready. I'm Anne Boleyn. I'm ready. Here we go.
Right. You're right. Just lop it off.
Yeah, the Cro-Mags were the gateway for me, brought me into hardcore.
Yeah. What a band to do so, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So, but
did you see, who was at who's turned up in the park the other day was Eric Casanova.
Yeah.
I'm just
hanging out. Him and John Watson were hanging out. Hello.
I'm just happy he's still alive.
Yeah.
He was happy to be there and see a lot of his old friends. He really was. He was really
wonderful.
It was a nice day. A lot of people there. This photo, I don't want to call this iconic, but it certainly has been out there. What's the background with this photo, Yana?
It was outside CBGB's and Drew Carolyn. How do you pronounce it? Carolyn, sorry. Drew was there and he asked to take a picture of me, and he seemed like a cool dude because usually, you know, when you had people come and they would be spat on and basically told to go fuck off, but he seemed to blend in, and he didn't seem like a guy who would exploit the situation, and more so of an artist. And whenever there's art involved, hey, count me in.
Yeah, this was in his book, right?
Yeah. What?
This is in his book.
It's from 1983.
Right.
Yep. And I'm wearing, I think I have a Whiplash button there. Or maybe I don't. I don't know what the fuck. I can't see. I'm blind as a bat.
Dave Scott from Adrenaline OD says, "Hi, Yana."
Oh, I love the Adrenaline OD.
From another label.
They were a great band. They still are, I guess. Aren't they playing again?
Yeah. They used to play all the
Lookout
time.
or something.
Yeah,
they were another one that was always. They were always playing at CB's.
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah. I love them. I went to so many of their shows.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Paris Mayu says Drew Carolyn directed the Higher Ground Chili Peppers video.
Good to know. I didn't know. Excellent.
I'll tell you what. Years later, when I was the stage manager at Riverview Studio in Astoria, Queens, he came in. He was directing. I think he directed a Mick Jagger. No. He came in. I forgot what he was directing that day. It'll come to me. But yeah, he shot on my stage, and I was the stage manager at Riverview. YouTube user who Wench tour in Europe was great. Was there Wench tour?
There was Wench and Wench 2.0. First Wench tour was in support of our album on Metalcore Records called The Tidy Size Chunk, and that was in like 91, I believe. Yeah, that's it. It was like 91. It was actually, we broke up after that tour. It was a bit of a disaster, but we did it. And the second tour was Wench 2.0, and that was Kate Schallenbach on drums.
That's Kate who went on to play in Luscious Jackson.
She was a Beastie girl.
She was out of the Beastie Boys.
By that time she was way out of the Beastie Boys, but she was, I think, working with Jill on Luscious Jackson stuff, and I loved Luscious Jackson demo. She let me hear it, and I thought it was fantastic. I actually like it better than the album. A lot of times I like demos better than albums, like Chromac's demo. Some motherfucker stole it from me, the original one of the parties I had. But that demo, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So yeah, there was Wench tour of England, and then in '92 with Mad Agency, there was a tour with Agnostic Front, and for some of the dates in Holland, and then we went on to Germany. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. So you toured Europe with Agnostic Front.
In the Holland part, yeah, in '92, yeah. Awesome. And I emailed you some of the flyers from that tour.
Yeah, I got a couple of them. Yep.
Yeah.
Let me see what else I
like that Wench album. It aged so well. I mean, it's like
thank you.
I mean, it's just a great, you know.
Well, you know what it is actually, Lori.
Want to say it's like thrash metal. It's like it's just really good music, you know, really good, hard, you know, music.
Well, the thing is that Wench album, what happened was we had two demos, Sumas Quad Sumas and Stone Cold, and we just put it together, and that's the album. And I think they remixed it a little bit, slightly, but basically it's the two demos. And like I said, we were just experimenting and doing. We weren't trying to follow.
And that was on metalcore, right?
We wanted to, but we were so into heavy music that we just expressed ourselves, and I'm glad people liked it. Fantastic.
Yeah, and with the both albums, like the PMS album as well, you know, it's hard to kind of like define what it was. Like
exactly.
Some people would say it's punk. Some people would say it's metal. Some people would say this. Some people would say
it's And we were interviewed by Maximum Rock and Roll, and then they wouldn't run the interview. So Maximum Rock and Roll can suck a bag of dicks because they called us heavy metal. And we were like, fuck you. Why are you labeling us?
Right.
What the fuck? Heavy metal? We're hardcore girls from the punk rock scene, and we play whatever the fuck we want. And you're calling us heavy metal? We weren't even there yet, you know? And we were called pre-metal syndrome, remember?
Yes, and if you listen to the song, like the album from song to song, I mean, each one is its own creation. It's not like, we're this and this is what all the songs are going to sound like.
Yeah.
One,
Well, somebody gets it. Thank you, Lori.
one song sounds more metal. I get it. And even
Lori knows her shit.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
vocals, I'm so impressed by that because not a lot of vocalists can adjust like that. So you do have like kind of like the punk kind of vocals going on, and then you can switch over to that Ronnie James Dio-esque sort of metal vocals.
Because you can tell that I had a lot of different influences. Like, listen to Nina Hagen. Ich Klasse, White Punks on Dope. I mean, I lived for that for many, many years, but then I also liked Blondie. Then I also liked opera. Mario Lanza, just like Ronnie James Dio, was my favorite singer. So I wanted to incorporate everything and make it my own. Like I said, there was no playbook. I didn't care, and after a while, I wanted to sing more than just growl because I didn't want to ruin my voice either, and I guess the only thing that I might feel that I regret is that I didn't take it further, or my vocals more seriously, didn't protect them. But later on in the 90s, with Shiny Mama, I sang on that album more. Just more rock and roll.
Do you remember Yana, in those days? I know because we both played the same circuit, back then, Antidote and Wench.
Yeah.
When people were smoking in the clubs, how much cigarette smoke. I remember every time we played, it was just choking.
Oh my God. But the smoke was everywhere.
Everywhere.
You would just choke constantly. Yeah. But I mean, I grew up with two smokers, so they've been killing me since day one. God rest their soul.
Shower afterward. Like I would go out and then shower because I wouldn't put the pillow to smell like smoke the next day.
Oh, forget it.
Let's talk a little bit about Shiny Mama, Yana. How did this come about?
Shiny Mama, sort of, like I said, after Wench 2.0 sort of disappeared and Kate left to be a serious musician with Luscious Jackson, and I mean, more mainstream. I still played with Robin for a long time, and Robin McIver. And later on, Carla Ola, who played with 1-800-Box and with Blondie, actually, as a bass player. And also she was in PMS when I left to start Wench. She came up to me, and we were still wonderful friends. And she said, Yana, let's jam. And she's like, yeah, let's start PMS again. Because Gina and Carmen were in Florida. They couldn't give a fuck, I don't think, at that point. So for a little bit, we were PMS again. And that kind of, we started writing. We did, that show that I sent you from 97.
Is that the footage? Is that this?
The Continental, yes, this is the Continental, and that's Robin McIver on the left, and Carla Ola. That was we were looking for a sound. We were just fucking around. So after that, we started writing more original music, not just doing old PMS covers, basically. And then I said, fuck it, why are we milking a dead cow? Why PMS? We're not PMS. We should just name ourselves something new. It's a new band. And of course, I always loved Shiny Mama, the song from Raging Slab, and I said, Shiny Mama it is. And, that's how it started. I'm actually very proud of the Shiny Mama album. You could find it, the whole album on YouTube.
Chico and Boston says, damn, how many dudes sweated her? Amazing.
What?
How many dudes
What the fuck
her?
does that mean, sweated?
That means how many guys were how would you one of you
how many guys liked you?
Oh, got it. Okay. I don't know.
Like trying to get with you.
No, nobody really, was on my tip or anything.
On my tip.
I don't know. I always had a boyfriend. I'm like a long-term monogamous. I get into relationships and I stay in them for a while. I mean, shit, I was a virgin till I was almost like 20. And yes, Tony Scaglione took my virginity.
There it is.
Oh,
there it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, Tony, it's Drew. You want to come on the show?
Well, you know what? You should have him on the show. He's got stories, and he's an amazing drummer. And that's another
definitely no. Tony's
and he's been in a lot of punk bands. He toured with Sheer Terror for a long time.
Tony's more than welcome to come on the show. I got to reach out. I got to connect.
You got to reach out to him. He's a great drummer, and so many stories. He'll tell you stories about Slayer. He'll tell you stories about Raging Slab. He'll tell you
Did
stories
you see
about
him play with
Terror.
Slayer? Did you see him play with Slayer?
What?
Did you see him play with Slayer?
Oh yeah, I actually slept in the
didn't
same
see
hotel
that.
room as Tom Araya. It was like 2 single beds. Tony and I were on one, Tom was in another. I mean, they were all very sweet to me. So no dirt here.
Yeah. Okay, good. Gina, Lori, Dawn, thanks a million. Want to shout anybody out, Gina?
Actually, yeah, I want to shout out my friend Chris Ott, because thinking of like seeing you down there at CB's, he was one of my first hardcore friends, and he's like a big brother to me. And it just brings back a lot of good memories, because there was a lot of crazy times too, but those are good memories. So shout out to you, Chris, for still looking out for me all these years, like 40 years,
I see.
40
Why
years of big
don't you
brotherness.
shout this out a little bit, even though it's during my show?
Oh yeah. So we're doing this benefit show for it's a women's shelter, a women and children's shelter in New Jersey, with November 6th for Dead Crew, Butterbrain, Enziguri, Rest Assured, Crazy Eddie, Concrete Ties, Kirby Kiss. Most of those bands have women in them. Some of them are on who is it? Concrete Ties is on a woman-owned record label. Dead Crew has a woman manager, and the money's all going to a women's shelter. So yeah.
Do you think you could book? Do you think you could book these shows, so I could come once in a while? I'd like to. I don't get a chance. It's very rare. It is very rare that I get.
Gina, do you book shows just in New Jersey, or where do you book shows?
No, we've done New York with Drew. We've done in Massachusetts.
Do a plug for your booking situation.
Yeah, thank you.
We're doing this. We have this coming up together at the. This is going to be a banger. I like doing shows with the women of the pit.
Yeah, we're fun.
Yeah, they're fun, and it's also like there's a couple more pairs of eyes out there. It's not just me wandering around waiting for the next disaster.
And we feed you, so that's always
good. First of all, women are very good business people, and they make shit happen and get things done. So there have been so many women managers, and on the other side of the business, a ton of them from do you remember Connie from CBGB's?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, Connie also, I don't know what happened to her, but she was involved. My God, there were so many cool, great women who actually make shit happen on the business side. And I was also on the business side. I used to be a press officer for Noise International Records, Celtic Frost, Creator, Killing Joke,
nice,
bunch of bands like that in 1990 after I graduated college.
What's a sane nurse?
What?
I have no idea what that is.
What?
I'm a sexual assault nurse examiner. I'm a sexual assault nurse examiner. So I was just saying that's awesome that you guys are benefiting the women's shelter. Thank
you.
Thank you.
I couldn't do my job if I wasn't a punk rocker, by the way.
Yeah.
Come to Jersey.
Come to Jersey. Come to the show.
I would love to. I'm gonna earmark the date, see if I could fly out.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Love to have
Yeah,
you.
here she goes. Please come to our
Girls,
please
thank you
come-
so much for doing all of this and still keeping the spirit alive. And
Yeah, it's very important
beautiful thing.
to highlight and also to get, representation. It's all about that, seeing women doing things up on stage and just highlighting it. And it just keeps everything going, keeps the scene going.
Women have to help women,
Mhm.
instead of
It's a numbers game.
being toxic cunts to one another.
Exactly. There's just statistically speaking, there's more guy bands by far.
Of
So
course.
trying to just kind of even the table a
The
little
point
bit.
is that you need to send the message that it doesn't matter. If you want it, just do it, because there's nobody to say no to you. Even if you play for 2 guys and a dog in your garage, just do it, because it's going to develop into something. Maybe you become a great musician, maybe you won't, but you're going to look back and say, thank God I did it, because I expressed myself.
That's the original hardcore ethos speaking right there.
Absolutely.
That's what it was all about. Get up, get out, and make it happen.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Hey, let me take. I got to take my last sponsor break.
I want to say a quick shout out on that note, quick. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I just want to, I know nobody in Iran is going to see this, but I do want to dedicate this to the women in Iran, in bands, musicians out there. There's a band called Desecrate that I'm going to do a feature tomorrow on the Women of the Pit IG, because I want everybody to just be aware that in Iran, there are women who absolutely cannot do what we're doing here. So, yeah, I'm going to do a feature on that tomorrow. A band is called Desecrate from Turkey with an Iranian singer. And I'm just asking for everybody to just check it out and support them.
Cool.
They risk their lives to play music. It's amazing. I've seen a handful of bands from that region, and it's so mind-blowing to think that stuff we take for granted. You can go in your garage and make a bunch of noise or go play at a local show. These people literally risk their lives
They can't do it there.
Yep. Hey, I got to take my last sponsor break. We'll come back. Gina, Lori, Maribeth, it was great seeing you guys.
Thank you, girls. You're
Thank
wonderful.
you, Yana.
You're amazing women, and I love you. Thank
We
you.
love
for all
you too,
do.
Yana. Thank you.
Yana,
And thanks,
I'll
Drew.
see you.
Thanks for
Yana, I'll
having
see you
us.
back in a couple of minutes. Okay.
All right, I'm going to take a piss break.
Go
Thanks.
Bye.
Woo. I'll see you guys soon. Bye. This is the one, the only, often imitated, never duplicated. Clank your chains and count your change. Goddamn motherfucking New York Hardcore Chronicles live. And I'm your host, Drew Stone. Clock, socks, bagels, and locks, menswear, silverware, ladies wear, and underwear. We are sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, DTFM Vinyl Distro, Generation Records, Grunge and Grime Soap Company, 126 Hardcore Clothing, DeWolf Publishing, and the Texas Silver Rush. They're a jewelry design firm and boutique store located in the birthplace of the Texas country music scene in Fredericksburg, Texas. They specialize in working with musicians in all music genres to design and create unique one-off pieces, as well as style them for stage, album covers, promo photos, and, yes, social media exposure. Their client list includes Rock Roll Hall of Famers Greg Rollet, Ringo Starr, and, of course, Agnostic Front. Information and online sales are being taken at their Facebook and Instagram pages, and, of course, www.thetexassilverrush.com. Come on now, Debo the Pro and Lee Fairley. This is New York Hardcore Comics. They opened back in 2013 when lifelong friends Debo the Pro and Lee Fairley combined their collections and obsessions for comic books, punk rock, toys, statues, magic, the gathering, and all things horror. The store is located at 117 Main Street in lovely Dobbs Ferry, New York. Open 7 days a week and shipping worldwide. Contact them via email at newyorkhardcorecomics@gmail.com or at www.newyorkhardcorecomics.com. Grunge and Grime Soap Company are a handmade soap and skincare company with a rock and roll spirit based in Smashville, Tennessee. They combine their love for rock music and their love for creating products that are good for your skin and good for your soul. Since the year of our God, 2019, they've been creating high-quality, natural, handmade soaps and skincare products with ethically sourced and sustainable ingredients. They give 10% of their net proceeds to local and community outreach programs. Visit the website at www.grungeandgrime.com and enter the code DREW to get 20% off your first order. Last but not least, DTFM Vinyl Distro is a record store that specializes in underground music, punk, ska, hardcore, metal, and more. located in the heart of Fargo, North Dakota's industrial district. Shop in person or online at www.dtfmvinyldistro.com, where the motto is death to false metal. Hey, couple of upcoming shows, by the way. Just want to let you know the Halloween show, Sunday, October 30th. Damien from Sam Hain and Joe Truck will be on the show. They were in a band called Brain Eaters. The record's just been re-released. We'll be talking to them. That is our Halloween show, Sunday, October 30th. Wednesday, November 2nd will be an Anthrax Club retrospective with Jim Gordon, Jeff Coleman, and John Bomber, a.k.a. Sex Bomb. We will be talking about the history of the Anthrax Club in both of their locations in Connecticut. Sunday, November 6th, OG DC Hardcore represent from Government Issue, Mr. Tom Lyle will be on the show. So lots of good things coming up. Let me see if I covered everything. Yes, Connecticut is getting some love. Don Foos is at Vlad's. Do I need to mention that again? This is a cool event that's coming up. Don Foos is coming from Cleveland, and we are doing an event at Organic Grill. It is the day before. Where is it? Here it is. It is the day before we are playing the Bowery Electric with The Take, with some of his Spud Monsters bandmates. So sounds like there's going to be a little bit of a Spud Monsters reunion. But on Saturday, October 15th at Organic Grill, Mr. Don Foos will be signing copies of his new book, Motivate Me. It's a free event. Come down, buy a book, get some grub. We'll all be down there, and we'll all be down there having fun. So, and you're invited too. The Castle Heights show was rescheduled, and then, it just went down the drain. It just flitted away. Maybe someday we will revisit it, but as of right now, the Castle Heights club retrospective is on the shelf. It sort of flitted away. That said, any questions? Please, questions for our guest, Yana Chupenko. Please post up questions. Let's take a couple of questions, and I think I covered everything. Super excited that the power hasn't gone down. I'll be doing the next show here on Sunday as well. So let's hope for this. Good show. Well, thank you. Thank you, Roberto Argus Fenot Guerrero. Thank you. Listen, man, if I can't do a good show, I'm 215 shows into it, then what good am I? Show fucking 215, Yeah, questions, post them up. Let's go. Our guest, hailing from upstate New York, Yana Chupenko. Hey, I found a couple of other cool things. A couple of things that I pulled out of my archive.
Okay.
But I know our friend Dave Scott Schwartzman from Adrenaline OD. Here's a poster from CBGB's.
Yeah.
Adrenaline OD, the Outpatients, PMS, Cheesecake. Is this Cheesecake Bullies? Is there something behind that? PMS Cheesecake Bullies.
I don't know, because we didn't do that flyer. They called us Cheesecake Bullies. I guess we were bitchy. Bitchy girls.
There you go.
No, I love those guys. I think we played, oh God, I remember we played some rehearsal studio, whatever, with Adrenaline OD. Maybe they'll remember it. And we did an AC/DC cover, and I don't know, I was drunk. It was a lot of fun. But those guys are amazing. I always loved them.
Let's take a couple of questions from around the world. This is a really nice one. Hey, Damien. Yana's father trained the Ukrainian Sich Youth Club soccer team in New Jersey for many years. He was a legend and a mentor to many of us in the Ukrainian diaspora. Am I pronouncing that right? Diaspora. He was old school and could be a tough character. I wonder how he reacted to Yana's music taste and lifestyle it seems it must have been a very foreign concept for him.
Maybe, yeah, it's all true. He was a soccer coach for many years. He came here. There was no soccer here except the Cosmos and team at the time when we came here. So he couldn't get a job, but he did hook up with the Ukrainian community and started teaching kids. And that was his love and passion to sort of teach them and give back to and train these kids. And because I think when you're young and you're into sports, it kind of shapes your character. I think it's very good for you to do that. I was a tennis player. I was never soccer playing, but I was a volleyball player and a tennis player back in my youth. But my dad and my parents, you know, they were amazing. I love my parents. I have nothing but great things to say about them. Maybe they didn't support me in the beginning. They never went to see any of my shows, but they allowed me the freedom to be myself because I was always a B+ student and I never got in trouble. So, you know, I even got a master's degree. So what the fuck are they going to complain about? You know, I was a great kid. But I did lie to them a lot of the times when I was 15 that I slept over a friend's house. I mean, typical teenage shit. But when I was in Shiny Mama, we played this big, huge fashion party in the 90s at the Pug Building on Broadway. And my dad came and it drove me to tears because he was so proud. Maybe he didn't understand what the fuck was going on, but at least it was a fashionable crowd. It wasn't exactly CBGBs. So he was proud, and I adored my father. And God rest both of their souls, my mom and dad. But yes,
God rest them both. Here's just in between questions. I like this Streets, Westchester's premier nightclub. I just love what's going on here. You have Kicks and Jet Boy, and then the next night you have Crumbsuckers and Gothic Slam. The night before Kicks, you had Wench, Idle Threaten, and there you go, Harry Carey, right?
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. People booked all sorts of stuff, you know, and that was at the time when the crossover happened. So they would book a punk band and a metal band, and you know, Crumbsuckers were considered a crossover band, I think, at that point.
Cool. Here's another question. Favorite Ronnie James Dio material?
Oh my God. Of course, that Holy Diver album is amazing. I love Rainbow. Kill the King. Get the fuck out of here. I mean, my God, the vocals on that. It's mind-blowing. So anything, he could fucking recite the phone directory, Dio, and I'd be like,
the two Sabbath albums, 3 Sabbath albums he did.
Heaven and Hell. Hello.
Yeah,
I actually had a Dio cover band called Shio. And we played Niagara in 2014.
Heaven and Hell was the first one. Mob Rules was the second one, right?
I believe so.
Heaven and Hell is it's a great record, man. Yeah. And
I did both of those songs, and I love it. I love singing Dio.
Yeah.
Well, I did anyway when I had a voice. I don't know. I haven't sang since 2018, so I don't even know if I could muster a note out of my throat. But I used to sing Dio because I could. I had the range, and it was fun for me. I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was getting off. I didn't care if anybody else gave a fuck about me singing it. I got off singing that material.
Astoria Lou asks, can you talk about the Greetings from New York short documentary from 1983?
Was I in it? I don't remember being in it.
Okay.
Why?
Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe you were in it. Maybe you don't know about it.
I have no idea if I was in it or not. But if it was like a short documentary, was it something that was on TV, like a news story?
I don't know this one.
It sounds like it. You know, I was on the Donahue Show in 1986. That the hardcore show.
Larry Kelly says, met and saw you with the Circle Jerks, HR, Beefeater, and Verbal Assault and Slapshot's first show ever in Providence. Was a great day.
I actually have a picture of me standing there. Somebody took from above, and I'm standing there watching.
Photo. Okay, he sent me a photo. Okay.
I don't know if I sent you that specific photo. It's me standing.
No, Lou sent me a photo. Let me see what it is.
Okay. You could. I'm watching Circle Jerks, and I have my PMS jacket, and the only reason I know it's me is because it's my jacket.
Yeah, that's not her, Lou. That's not her in the picture you sent me. Yeah, no. Hold on. Let me. Yeah, I was wondering why he sent this to me.
But I do remember that show, and I have a picture, not my face, but my back. Definitely, you could see me watching Circle Jerks.
This is
And we played with HR, and I don't know if that was the show, one of the shows. We played with him a couple of times. It's like he stood with his arms crossed. You know how HR stands
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that in front of the stage, and basically nobody would go in front of the stage when we played, and he would just and basically he was like, "I'm standing here. You better not fuck with these girls." And oh yeah, this documentary, sure, I know about it, of course.
yeah.
But what do you want me to say about it? That's
Well,
what
I guess, but you're
It's
not in that.
fabulous.
You're not in that picture.
No, I'm not. That's Michelle and
Yeah.
Robbie Crib Crash.
Yeah.
And that Michelle was his girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
And Robbie was the first drummer of CFA, I believe.
Right. Let's see. How about?
Did I tell you when HR used to call me Princess?
Great.
He probably called everybody. He called me at home once, and my mother's like, "There's somebody by the name of HR on the phone." I'm like, "Mom."
Here's a good one.
It was hysterical.
Look at this.
"Hello, princess." I'm like, "Hey."
Rock Hotel presents Fear Government Issuer Mentors and PMS.
Oh, that was a show and a half.
What is
Holy
this?
shit. I loved Fear. One of my favorite bands, but leaving was a bit of a dick to me. So, mazel tov.
What's? Oh, I like the hilly statement. We are having increasing problems during our hardcore matinee shows. Yeah, yep. That makes
Yeah, didn't Joe Nails bite somebody's thumb off? I think
I think it was his son, right?
Yeah, his son.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a few incidents.
Yeah. Chucky Brown, our one of our resident historians, asks,
Yes.
Can she speak on Wench playing the Joey Ramone birthday party show at the Ritz in 1989?
Absolutely. And I will tell you who got us that gig. First of all, Joey Ramone came to a couple of our shows, but every time I would talk to him, I mean, I idolized this guy, but I didn't understand a single fucking thing he said. It would always be like, and I'm like, yeah. But Raging Slab got us on that bill. And there was I have a shirt still with our name in it. So for posterity's sake, I'm so happy we did it. It's fabulous.
Cool. Look at this one. Wow.
And I think Michael from Leeway filled in on guitar for that show. Because
Mike Gibbons.
Mike Gibbons, yeah.
Well,
I was best friends with his sister, Gibbons. Yeah.
He posted something when the show started that he went to you brought it to his first show. Let me see if I can find it.
Well, it was his sister and myself, basically. Deirdre and myself, yeah. But he was an incredible guitar player, so Leeway was a great band.
Yeah.
Loved him.
Where's that Gibbons post? Let me see. Hold on. Here's another one really interesting. I like this. At a place called The Bank on Houston Street. Look at this bill. Look at this bill. Immolation, Revenant, Bleeding Hemorrhoids, Wench, and Dog Eat Dog opening the show.
Awesome. I remember the Bank. I went to a great CMJ show, and I saw Stone Temple Pilots before when they were just doing CMJ when they got signed. Amazing.
The Bank. It's still sitting there. I think it's empty these days.
It became Gothville after a while.
It's Gothville, yeah.
Yeah.
It's become Gothville.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what else. Oh yeah, listen, we gotta throw this up for a second.
Okay.
If there's one place that has to be mentioned, it's the Lismar Lounge.
Oh, Lismar Lounge was great. You know who was at one of our shows at Lismar Lounge? And we don't have a lot of videos. I never took really a lot of photos. Other people send me photos. I'm an idiot. And we never did videos either. But there's one show of Wench, one of our first shows with Marilyn there and Elizabeth. And it was 1986. And it was at Lismar Lounge. And the guy from, the guy who plays the flute, Ian something or other from
Ian from Jethro Tull?
Yes, he was at our show. It was
the Lismar Lounge?
Hysterical. He was at Lismar Lounge seeing Wench.
What?
It was fucking funny as fuck. And I wouldn't even known if Allison wouldn't tell me. He goes, oh my God, he's sitting on the fucking bar over there on the right. That's Ian from Jethro Tull. And I was cracking up.
Ian Anderson, yeah.
Yes.
Here's a photo that that Lou sent me. I don't know where he got it from, a story of Lou, but it says party at 666 Water Street, Yana's birthday. Looks like
Yes.
looks
I
like
lived.
the
I
some of
lived
the
there, and it was Ditto right there. AJ.
yeah.
I don't know who that is.
No,
That's
that's
John
the
from Urban
isn't
Ways.
that
I don't
yeah
know who's covering his face.
yeah
Yep. And I
yeah.
think that was one of the parties that somebody stole my Chromex demo.
Chromex
Yeah, that
demo
was.
got stolen. That's a tragedy right
It's
there.
a tragedy, but maybe if Paris is kind enough, he might make me a copy or somebody out there and send it to me.
Well, here's the tie-in. It's funny, you know, you mentioned Ditto. Here's Major Conflict Damage PMS at the Nameless Theater.
Oh my God, I've never seen that flyer, but yes, I mean, I loved Damage, Donna, right? Major
Yeah.
Conflict,
Yeah.
kind of like also came out from that Astoria scene and Urban Waste scene, and Billy also sang for them as well.
Yeah.
And Ditto, I love that guy from day one. He was so fucking cool. And in the early years, that's how I remember Ditto. He was constantly naked. He would just start taking his fucking clothes off. Well, there was a nice body underneath all of that, of course.
Like,
but
yeah.
he's so talented, so
Yeah,
sweet. And when Shiny Mama played in LA around 2000 and I don't know, 5 or so, maybe 4, he actually came out and saw us in a club that we played. Sweet guy, man. Love him.
Yeah, I'm in touch with him, fellow filmmaker, good
Of
dude.
course.
Big supportive, always supportive of my stuff. He's a great guy.
He's a great, fantastic guy.
Yeah.
Oh, my
here's from our talk about resident graffiti historian, RS70, you created that logo up there. Are you making new music? Where do you stand with music these days?
I haven't done anything in a long time. My last performance was at Joe's Pub, being part of the show that this girl, Kathy Savenka, used to put on Madonnathon and Love Bites shows. So for the last couple of years, starting in about Shiny Mama ended in 2005. And since then, I've been just working with more of performance art people. And like wild shows like at the Box and just doing covers, and the Snow Queen, that was my character. So I have a lot of stuff out there on YouTube videos if you want to see, and also go visit my Facebook page and go into videos. I'm sure you'll see a lot of you know, a lot of the shows that I did afterward. And the last show I did was at Joe's Pub doing a cover. And that was the last time I sang in 20.
Well, you got on stage with us at Fee's Memorial.
Yes. But I think that was a kind of an intimate thing.
Yeah, that was
That wasn't a show. It was just, even though I loved being on stage with you, it was wonderful. But
Scott says, get another Dio cover band going.
Well, maybe I will. But you know what? The only reason I'm not getting any, I live upstate. It's hard for me to get to the city because it's expensive. And I don't know anybody really up here. And it takes money to get a band together. And I spent thousands of dollars, supporting junkies, supporting people with problems, this. I'm not doing it anymore. I mean, if I ever get into the right situation, I'd love to do it. I love music. It's my life. But right now, no, I'm not doing one single thing.
Okay. Well, hopefully, yes, she fucks with social media. There, if you want to reach out to Yana, it's right there. There it
on
is.
Instagram and Facebook, basically. You get all my information out there. I am all over the social media, basically. So you can see me out there.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show. It was great.
Thank you so much. I hope it was fun for you. I hope I wasn't boring.
No, you're never boring, my dear. It was great. Anybody you want to shout out? Anybody you want to thank?
Oh my God, too many people. I mean, my God, I've been friends with so many different people in so many different scenes over the years. Just thank you, and I love you. Those people who support me and my friends that's been with me since day one, like Jojo Peralta. She's one of my oldest friends, and she's always been there for me, and I love her dearly. I love her to death. Bridget Roy, who was Miss Columbia Records, who signed a lot of bands like Alice in Chains, not signed, but marketed a lot of bands like Alice in Chains and whatever. She was a big part of my life and helped me out. Just all my ex-bandmates who I still love and think about, and we had a connection that was deep. We created a lot of cool music, and I'm proud of everything I was in and created, and I just send them love.
Well, you should be proud. You were a trailblazer, and those were trailblazing bands, and it took many years for the merry-go-round to swing back around to the point where there's a lot of gals, playing, hardcore.
That's
and
wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, everything is cyclical, so
Yep.
let's hope the tide and more, comes around again, and there's a tsunami of women talent out there.
Absolutely.
And also behind the scenes as well. Girls, I've learned a lot about the business world, booking shows, doing PR, everything. And God knows what's in your future. But DIY, it could only open doors for you. Everything is an experience.
Absolutely. I'll talk to you soon, Yana. Thank you very much.
Love you. Bye.
Love you too. Take
Ciao.
care. Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Our guest today on the New York Hardcore Chronicles was Yana Chupenko, and PMS, Wench, Shiny Mama. Great show. Great show. Love talking to my old school A7 New York hardcore friends. Those are real special for me. So thank you, Bill. I appreciate it. Jojo, thank you for being a part of today's show and for chiming in. And I'm sorry I didn't get that photo up. Here's the photo that Jojo sent me. Hold on. Here, Jojo. Here's the photo. Here you go. Boom. All right. I'm not sure who's in it. I know it's you. I know it's you on the right and Yana on the left. I'm not sure who's in the middle. You could post up and let me know. But yeah, you know what? I got the call. I got the call during the show, and he says I could tell you what I was talking to. The news came through. Christian, who passed away in the middle. Okay, rest in peace, Christian. Got it. Yana's Instagram is right here. It's @ShinyMama_123. The news that came through on the wire today is that our friend John LaMacchia from Candiria is going to be playing second guitar for Quicksand on the tour. And they're heading out, and our good buddy John LaMacchia will be playing second guitar in Quicksand. So we're stoked on that, and we're really happy for him. He's such a good dude, and happy that he's going to be out there doing it, playing some music. So there you go. My pleasure. It was a great show, and I'll see everybody on Sunday with Troy Gregory from Flotsam and Prong and so on and so forth. A lot. So yeah, you know what? Maybe we should get John LaMacchia to pop on the show. And also, Nobody's Perfect's got a new release. I got to get those guys on. They've reformed after many years and just put a release out. So I got to get the Nobody's Perfect guys on. So that said, thanks a lot, everybody. Till next we meet, do good things, and good things will come to